Hello, everyone. Nice to see you
Get
again.
in here. Hi, I'd like to welcome you to Speak the Truth with Elijah, and I'm Cindy. Thank you for joining us. There's a lot that's going on right now, but we felt as though it was important to talk about DEI. It's like there's so much misinformation about DEI that I think that it needs to be clarified, and we need to have a real understanding other than what it stands for: diversity, equity, and inclusion. So, equality and inclusion. So, we want to touch on that, and we'd like to welcome you to Speak the Truth. You kind of cross in front, but what we want people to, to be respectful. You can agree to disagree, and everyone has an opinion. And I never heard the word DEI thrown out there so much, not until Trump abolished it pretty much in the federal government when he said he signed his executive order that people would no longer, the federal government would no longer, I guess, hire or put people in position according to DEI. And most people, it's a history of it. So what we're going to do, we're going to dive into it. Then we're going to talk about DEI, what it means, who really benefits from DEI, because that's one of the biggest misconceptions, and people's qualification that are hired. I mean, as far as going according to their race, creed, color, religion, disability, and so forth. It's almost assuming that people aren't educated, that they're unknowledgeable, that they are incapable, and people are basing it upon appearance instead of upon maybe the degree that they have from Stanford or Harvard. So anyway, we want to get into this and see. This is Stephen A. Smith with Will Kane, and he's on the Will Kane show. And so we really want to, see their viewpoint on this. See what Will and them have to say.
The Stephen A. Smith Show to discuss. Hey, Stephen A.
Well, first of all, before we even start, congratulations to my buddy for having his
And good
own
evening.
afternoon show. Major props to you. Just because you support
Good evening.
Trump, don't
Thank
mean
you for
have to
joining
look like
us.
don't mean you have to dress like that for crying out loud. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing right now, Will Kane. But it's okay. Congratulations. It's well deserved. It's long overdue. And I'm sorry I couldn't make it
Oh,
yesterday for your
thanks,
first show
Johnny.
because I was
Missing you
traveling. What's
too.
up?
Well, first of all, I don't know that he has patented red, white, and blue. Others are allowed to wear red, white, and blue besides the President of the United States. Secondarily, I just want to say thank you. You have been there with me every step of the way. You put me on First Take. You advocated for
Hey,
the Will
how
Kane
you
Show on ESPN
doing?
Radio. You were there for the launch of the Will Kane Show on podcast.
You've been missing us.
And you're here
Yeah,
now
we've
at
been
the
kind of
beginning of the
slow
Will Kane
getting
Show,
back
and I
up
always
on
appreciate
here.
your support, friend.
No doubt. Well deserved, my brother.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let me get to this.
This is so
Speaking of our
important.
past, we've had a lot of knockdown, drag-out fights, Stephen A. We've had a lot of conversations.
And I remember
kind of
Will
around
Kane when he used to
DEI.
be with
But you've changed
Stephen
a
N
little
on
bit. I've been
A on First
noticing you
Take.
a little bit. Some different perspectives coming from you. Is this something you celebrate, or are you highly concerned about the sunset of DEI?
I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned about it. I certainly am not going to celebrate it because I don't like the way I believe the right is handling this particular issue. When you talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, the conversations that you and I have had is far different than the things that I've heard from everybody else. You ask questions and you talk about a merit-based society. That's cool. But there are others on the right that are hiding behind that verbiage to disguise how they're really coming across. When you say diversity, equity, and inclusion, you're basically trying to imply, not you, but I'm talking about some on the right, are trying to imply that everybody that got hired under DEI is that you certainly weren't competent, you weren't qualified. Well, that might be the case, or it might not be. Let's understand that we don't get to ignore why the existence of DEI came to be. It was because of the inequities in the system, the people that weren't hired before, competent individuals from minority communities throughout this country that weren't feeling like they were being treated fairly. You and I have had this discussion over the Rooney Rule in sports. Certainly, you would think that you should be able to interview whoever you want. You shouldn't be forced to interview an African-American candidate. Why did the NFL implement that policy? It implemented that policy because of inequities that were exercised by various NFL owners spanning history. All I'm saying is let's not forget that reality, its existence. Why did it come to be to begin with? So when you eradicate the program and then you turn around, let's say, for example, hypothetically, you get rid of DEI at ESPN, or you get rid of DEI at Fox News or any place else. and then you turn around and you got 7, 8, 9 different positions, and all of them are white. You're basically implying that all of those white folks are the best candidates, and we couldn't find anybody from any different community
Hold on.
that were competent. That's
You
my
are
concern.
the top personality at ESPN. That is not me
Yes.
complimenting you. It's a fact. You are number one.
Yes.
Did you get there because of DEI?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So
But
you
I know
don't
that
have to. But you don't have to worry.
I think
you don't have to worry
my
that
inception into this business might have played a role in that. That might have played a role. Absolutely.
But my point is, you don't have to worry. Your life is a testament to merit winning out over the necessity to prioritize skin color. You pointed out that people will be like, well, everybody that was hired over the past 5 years were beneficiaries of DEI. You know, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas talked about this. That's one of the prices of affirmative action, because some people get something that they might not have earned for their superficial characteristics. Then it's logical to look around and go, well, if you have those same characteristics and you didn't earn it, or you didn't get it for merit, did you not earn it? My point is, DEI actually undercuts people like you who earned it by merit.
And I'm saying to you, that argument can be made in some cases, and in some cases it cannot be. So the way you truly eradicate it, let's say, for example, like you just did, you want to eradicate DEI programs, and then the hiring process is revisited, and 40% of the candidates are African Americans or Latinos or a combination of the both, and 60% of them are white. Nobody's gonna have a problem with that. But if 95 to 100% of them are white, from the moment that DEI is eradicated, then you're sending the message that the only reason other folks had those opportunities was because of DEI as opposed to their qualifications.
That's what it
and I'm saying you have to be mindful and careful of making sure that that message is not disseminated, because that's inaccurate, and history has proven that in a lot of different circumstances. That's all I'm saying.
I truly do believe in Black Americans to not just survive, but to excel in a system based upon merit. I don't think DEI is necessary. In fact, I think it is cancerous and undercuts their accomplishments. I do want to ask you this, Stephen. You made, I'm running out of time, but I do have to ask you this, okay? And that is this, that you told me, and you know, that you voted for Kamala Harris. I don't think, you're somewhat independent, but you have been leaning to the left. Lately, I feel like you're leaning to the right. You told our own Sean Hannity that you're not mad that Donald Trump won. If you had a do-over, Stephen A., would you vote for Donald Trump?
I don't know if I would vote for him, because I don't trust that chaos is not going to reign. I don't like, I don't like, and I don't want to use, I'm not trying to call him an authoritarian or whatever, but the White House, the Senate, the House, Congress, etc. Complete power like that makes me nervous, especially in the hands of somebody like him, who can be a bit petty and stuff like that. But I want to be very, very clear. I have voted with some Republicans in the past. I would vote for Republicans in the future. I'm not against there's a lot of conservative policies that I support, just like there are some liberal policies I support. I'm an independent. My issue was not with the party. My issue was with Trump and how I thought Trump would act. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm rooting for him to have a successful presidency, but a successful presidency to me is what benefits America, not him. And if that means voting right, I'll vote right next election. And the election after that. And the election after that. I ain't ashamed to tell you.
I got to leave it here, but I mean, you got to like what's happening in the first couple of days. I think you would take that.
No.
Well, anyway, I thought it was important because there's a lot of misinformation about DEI, and I hear so many people speaking out about it. Trump, like once I guess his first day or second day in office, those were abolishing DEI was one of his executive orders. And he has a great concept. He says that he wants people to be hired according to merit or be put in these positions. But that has not been the case in America. And I think one of the misconceptions as well is that DEI, diversity, equality, and inclusion, that it's benefiting Black people. And that's not true. We're the last on the totem pole as far as it benefiting a group of minorities. Is not benefiting us like it's benefiting, I think, number one, what's the list? Where's your phone? Are white women. White women are the ones that have benefited from DEI. So when Trump canceled the DEI federal programs, and he put everybody on administrative, what is it, paid leave and all of that. That's affecting white women more than black people. But I'm gonna tell you the order of the people that are benefiting from DEI, and it was birthed after what had happened to George Floyd. Let me see, where is it at? Okay, so um, allegedly, according to the Department of DEI, benefited people in this order. Is white women are number one, Latinos, Hispanic is number two, number three are Asians, number four are Native Americans, indigenous people. Then number five are disabled. Number six are veterans. Number seven is LGBTQ. And number seven is LBG, yeah. And number eight are seniors. And number nine are black people. Did you hear that? Now, who's out there fighting about DEI is always our so-called black representatives, which is like people like Al Sharpton. They're running around and they're trying to make it seem like that once you get rid of DEI, that's an attack on the black community, that somehow in 2025, that black people still are unable to, I guess, get a college education. Like, we're not educated, we're not intelligent, we are not self-employed, we're not entrepreneurs. All of that is a lie. Black people are just as qualified as white people in any position, and many times are just as educated. The problem, I guess, that people were facing was that if a white person walk in with a Harvard degree and a black person walk in with a Harvard degree, and a black person actually has more experience and has had more opportunity as far as in that field, and a white person can come in right fresh out of school, that they're going to hire. It's always the case that they're going to hire that white person first, and it shows in executive positions, even in Trump's cabinet. There's only one black person, and I think he's in housing in HUD. It's like it almost appears like they feel like only white people would be better at a job. But anyway, getting back to the real issue is that in the order that DEI does not benefit black people, but we're the ones out there making the most noise, if though, put it back up, if though we are the ones that need to be fighting for this right. And then you had Target. Target decided to join the bandwagon, which it didn't affect, outside agencies. This is just a federal executive order. This had nothing to do with, outside businesses and privately owned businesses. But then you had your Walmart, you had Target, I think McDonald's. They decided to get rid of their DEI programs as well. And that's why people are saying in the black community, let's boycott Target, because our money is power. Just like our vote, we have to learn that our votes, that's our power as well, and more so. But it has to be clear that the people that are really being targeted and hurt are white women. They're the ones that have been put in these positions. They're the ones that have benefited from the DEI program, but we're making the most noise. And this is like Target. This is something that they said that they were getting rid of from, I think, like, as soon as Trump they said that they were going to do this a while ago, that they was going to get rid of DEI, but somehow they did it after Trump, when he passed, his executive order. So this is what they're saying.
American companies scaling back their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The retailer established its DEI program to help black employees build meaningful careers and to promote black-owned businesses following the police killing of George Floyd in 2020. DEI initiatives have come under attack from conservative activists, and as of this week, the White House as well.
It's ridiculous.
So Target says it had already planned to end the racial program.
Now they're saying that they planned on ending it, and you see how people always lead that it was done, this was something that they decided to do for black people, because when you look at positions and executive positions, that black people are like 13% of the population. But when you look at the diversity in these executive positions, that black people are not being given the opportunity for these positions. So Anyway, that was Target. They were following behind, of course, what Trump was doing.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I'm okay, guys. There's
What?
nothing.
What happened?
I'm okay. I was just thinking about my ex-girlfriend.
What they say?
No, someone said, "Is this kid safe? Why he looks so sad?"
Oh my God.
I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
Where did I put it at? Where's my history at? Okay. So anyway, you could just talk to him. Yeah, just like participate. They say you look sad. Nah, it's not that at all. I want to find this other one. Like,
Why I'm not talking is because I'm not that informed on the topic. So I don't want to just talk and don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah, there's a lot of people, and like we even have we'll go there.
These
here.
crackers not.
We'll that's Charlemagne. You know, he's kind of out there, but these are just like different viewpoints. But I think that it needs to be said because we have actually. I wanted to go to Al Sharpton next, but I think that we need to see the numbers. I think that's important so we can see the effects of what's going on.
Got the camera right.
You have to know when to change it. I don't know what everyone's perspective is on it, but even though it was Charlemagne that he really said a lot, there were some pointers that were made, and like what I'm saying, no, we're not a fan of him, and he doesn't represent Black people. I don't know why when anything's important that needs to be said, it's either him. I think he's taking the place of Al Sharpton, wherever he is. He's on here somewhere.
Yeah.
But we have to realize, even as a Black community, is that every time they try to say something is for Black people, that's not necessarily true, because this program, like I said, you don't see white women out there protesting, saying that they're being mistreated, they're losing their positions, because like I said, the majority of the people that's benefiting from the DEI program that Trump just, abolished were white women. And then it was followed by Latinos, Hispanic, followed by who was next? After that, it was maybe Asians. After the Asians, it was the LGBTQ, and then it was seniors, and it was Native Americans. But Black people were number 9. We were last on the list. But it's like the Black people somehow are the face of DEI when we're the least hired for positions with DEI. It did not benefit us, so I don't understand why we're always the ones out there leading the charge.
And everyone's at Costco now.
Yeah, we're leading the charge when it's not even benefiting us. It's a problem with that. I'm trying to find like the one with Al Sharpton. He's out there at Costco leading a group of, this is Al Sharpton. Gotta put this on. This is what he's doing after after this commercial.
A day of shopping took on a more profound meaning. Hi, Dorothy.
Hey there, Arthur. The Reverend Al Sharpton is trying to send a message to businesses. If you don't support DEI, there are a lot of Americans who won't support you. This is what he did today.
They want us to be the face for it.
Or rather, he bought $125 gift cards and gave them out to people, brought them over here to this East Harlem Costco, and let them shop to send a message that if they
had to bribe them to come there. Gave them gift
them.
cards. Look at this. Look at this. Like it's a Black issue. And it's not.
The Costco says it's sticking with its DEI programs, and Sharpton wants to encourage other businesses to do the same. President Trump ordered all federal DEI staff on paid leave and signed orders to dismantle DEI programs in both government and private businesses. Now, one of those orders requires the government to review DEI policies of public companies, but the National Action Network says it won't back down. They plan to boycott companies that get rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
For 90 days, we're going to research the company that we find that has made the most affront. We will call a boycott. But today, we are calling a buy-in.
While Costco says it remains committed to DEI, many well-known companies are scaling back their programs, including Target, Meta, Amazon, McDonald's, Walmart, Lowe's, and Ford. Now, today it was about buying and supporting companies that support DEI, but the National Action Network says it will soon announce the names of companies that it plans to boycott. Arthur?
Thank you very much, Duarte.
See, that's what Al Sharpton is doing. You know, and he knows what's going on. I don't think that he's really being honest with the Black community. That if he's going to look at the list of people that's really being affected by DEI, then it should be more white women out there than anyone else, because it's like it was made just for them. They're the ones that are benefiting. They're number one on the list that benefited from DEI. And then where are the Latinos at? They're second on the list. I wish you had your phone so I could look at it. They're second on the list. Then you have your Asians. Then you have the LGD. What are they? The LGBTQ people. Alphabet Club. And then you have your disabled, and you have your seniors. It's like, and then Black people are last, and that's a problem. But why are we out there out front? And they want us to boycott, because I'm like looking at Target. And I'm like, okay, you know, I want to support, like, if there is a boycott, if it's something that has put a black eye on our community. But it hasn't, because we are not benefiting from DEI. So what they did, and when he did that executive order, or whatever Target is doing, or Walmart or Amazon, is we're not the ones that are receiving the benefits. So I think that who should be leading the way should be white women. And then instead of getting all these Black people and giving them $125 gift cards, and or however much it was, and you're taking all them out there, it should have been a diverse community, because it's supposed to be, you know, diversity, equity, and inclusion. It should have been, he should have had a rainbow of people. Why were there only Black people out there? And he wants to do this boycott that we're doing, when even if we want to boycott, even if these private businesses decided to reinstate DEI, it's not going to go towards hiring Black people.
Gilberto, how about you listen and research instead of making false claims?
It's not going to benefit us. It's not benefiting us. But it should be, if that's the case, and if it's true, if you do your research, and the number one people that have benefited from DEI are white women, then I think that some of the white women and some of their organizations should be out there supporting a boycott. They should be leading the boycott. They should be asking us to join the boycott. But they're not. They're not saying anything. We're always going to lead the charge for civil rights and any kind of rights, but it's not benefiting Black people, even though it was made in mind for Black people. And I think it's unfair that we're the poster child for DEI when we're the least hired. We're the least benefiting from it. But every time somebody think of DEI, because I was hearing that even through the whole campaigns, even when Kamala was running, oh, that's a DEI hire. Every time you saw someone Black, no matter what their credentials were, where they went to school, what type of education they had, whatever the case may have been, then that's a DEI hire. But that was always associated with Black people, and not with white women, and not with the LGBTQ community, not with disabled, not with the indigenous people, not, you know, I didn't see that them being labeled like they've been labeling that's funny. Like they've been labeling Black people. And I just feel as though that we need to have, that's why this is called Speak the Truth, because we need to like have this conversation. And everyone needs to be enlightened to what's really going on out here. Like what's really happening, and what is DEI? And is it like Trump is saying, oh, people, we don't want people hired. The only people that stand out with any color to their skin are Black people. So they would say, we want to hire people not according to their race, creed, color, and all that. But when you see Black people, you're looking at them. Did you earn the position? Black people have to work harder for positions than any other race. We have to be better than any other race. Yeah, there's no shortcuts for Black people, but Black people are educated. Black people are contributing to to this country and have contributed to this country more than probably any other race, because this country was built off of our backs with free labor from our ancestors. So the contributions are there. But it shouldn't be that even in 2025, this is not 1960 or 1964 and it was like unequal. Everyone can go to school. Everyone's going to college. You know, a lot of us have our engineer degrees and doctorates and lawyers and, you know, in all sorts of fields, more than you can even imagine. We're becoming astronauts, some, you know, biologists, anything you could think of. And that's what we're doing. But you shouldn't look at a black person because they have a position, and it's not DEI, because like I said, we're the least hired for any position. And when they look at the statistics and you see the comparison to white males that are hired versus black people, is night and day. It's all white. And we can't say that, and I don't want it to seem like the only people. And one thing like Trump did say that I was in agreement with, you can't just automatically, because there was a problem with a plane, just said it was DEI. He thought it was a transgender or whatever pilot, and that person had to call in or something to say that they were alive. But you got to find out the facts first. And there are a lot of planes that have come down with white pilots, and mostly pilots are white, that have been flying the plane. Wow. And for Charlie Kirk to say that if he saw a black pilot, that you would feel like that this person was unqualified.
That was just racist.
That was completely racist. We are intelligent, articulate, smart people, and we do our jobs with confidence and with integrity and character. And it's wrong now on top of it that we want things to be equal and on merit, but then you're going to have to prove yourself even more that you're not a DEI hire. And like I said, we're not. This is not even our fight. We're not the poster child. You got to put white women up there. They're the poster child for DEI. That's the community that benefited from DEI hires, are white women. And black people are number 9, last on the list. So I think that it needs to be some you know, more of the news media, more of the people that are really looking at what's going on and stop like labeling our community. Our community is always labeled no matter what we do. We're not even, this is not even our fight, but you got these fake leaders making black people think that we're the ones being affected by something that we're not being affected by, not at the level that all the other races. All the races should be out there about this DEI, not us. They're all in front of us, even now. They're the ones that's being affected. So when Al Sharpton went out there, he should have had a coalition of all races. If you're going to do it, you should have a coalition of all races. You shouldn't have it like it's a black community. That makes everyone thinks that black people need a DEI program to get hired. That's not it. That we're like, you're unqualified to be hired. You're being hired because we need diversity. No, we need to be hired because we are qualified, but that's not always the case. And most of the time it's not the case. They're going to hire white first. And we're the last even on the DEI list. So how are we going to be hired according to merit if you're the last on the DEI list? There's something they're trying to make us the poster child, like is helping us, when that's a lie. It's not helping us. It's not benefiting us. But then we got to prove that we're qualified. And for Charlie Kirk to say that if he saw a black pilot, that you would feel some type of way. But those planes that are coming down are being piloted by white men or white women. They're not even black people. So that was a racist remark, and that's not right. That's not right. God made all of us with minds and brains. It's not because your brain does not have a color. When God made your brain, if the scientists open you up, your brain is going to look like everybody else's brain. You're not going to be able to tell if that brain belonged to an Asian, a white person, an Indian, a Native American, a black person. You're not going to be able to tell. Ask Ben Carson. He's a brain surgeon. You wouldn't want Ben Carson if you had something going on in your brain to operate on you, really? The best brain surgeon in the freaking probably world? That's Ben Carson. He's a brain surgeon. So we got to get rid of the stereotypes when they do have programs and they make black people the face of it when it benefits us the least. That's not right. And Al Sharpton, he wants to come and he wants to fight for a cause, but you're not fighting for us. You're not fighting for black people. You get all black people, we unaware of what's going on. We're trusting this person because he's been in leadership, not doing our own homework and realizing that our community is not the community that's being affected. It's not us. It's white women. I keep saying it because we need to hear that. Get the list out again that you can read it. It's white women. And then we're number 9 on the list. But then when we go for a job, they're saying, oh, and they look at one of us say that we have, we're the president of a company or whatever position. Oh, they just became the president because they're DEI hired, and that person started a company, worked their way up, built a company. Now it's a $1 billion company. You know how many multimillionaires that we have that are black and black business owners? There's not even entertainers, business owners. People got to get out of this stereotype. How black people are living in any community that a white person can afford to live in, so can we. We're buying the same houses, buying the same boats, going on the same vacations, getting the same benefits. Okay? That's what's really going on in the real world. It's like people have their heads stuck in the sand. It's not like, and I know that Trump is not trying to have administration that's trying to act like that white people have a superior brain when a brain has no color. A brain doesn't have a color. Okay, you can't tell what color that brain is. You can read it all. It has no color. So we need to stop all this divide. When you look at it, because I started hearing that a whole lot when Trump was running for president, and I voted Republican. But then we have to be careful, even with black people, when we vote Republican, we still have to hold people's feet to the fire. We can't allow things to be said. This is what chased black people away from the Republican Party. When you have people that don't have the mindset of Trump, that's making statements like Charlie Kirk did, that if he saw a black pilot, like that would be a problem. But that black pilot probably is more educated and graduated, not just past the pilot test. He probably exceeded the pilot test. He's probably the freaking instructor. And you would base that upon, see, he's talking about Trump said, let's do it with merit. And you got this white man, Charlie Kirk, who's campaigned the whole time for Trump, but you're making one of the most racist statements. You're contradicting what Trump said, that he wants people to be hired on merit, and you're looking at someone judging. Go ahead.
I was about to run a charge.
Go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
They
Get in the.
they said that DEI benefits people in this order: number 1, white women, then Latino, Hispanic, then Asians, then Native Americans, then disabled, then veterans, then the alphabet club, and then seniors, and then black people. I gotta put my phone on charger.
Okay, we'll put it on here. That's the order, and that's the truth. But when you have people making statements that the only way that we get, you see a black person, if they're in any type of position of leadership. I've been in positions of leadership. I never even thought of myself or even comprehended that was even a thought of qualifications or whether or not I could do a job. I've been a trainer, a teacher, a leader, training other people in positions. I mean, executive positions.
Keep spamming that.
So yeah, it's okay. They don't have nothing else better to do. So it's unfair, like, for Trump to say one thing, but then you have people in your party that are showing racism by their comment. Okay, if somebody can fly that plane, they didn't just get past a job interview at Burger King. That meant that they went through all the steps, everything that they had to do to get that position. And because there's so few black pilots, they had to be the top of their class to even have that position. So you're probably more safer with that black pilot than a white pilot, because the planes have never come down with black pilots. It's been the white pilots, because why? They have most of the jobs. They have most of the jobs. And that's why they wanted DEI, so that you would hire qualified people of other ethnicities. It should work out that people do that, but that's not what's going on here all the time in America, and that's just the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. And that's what we have to look at. And when you have people that he's saying one thing and they're saying another, and then we got black leaders out there acting like DEI is a black issue when it's not a black issue, it's a people issue.
Martin, how did he hurt you, man?
It's a people issue. It's not a black issue, it's a people issue. And I have a problem when I don't see white women leading the way when it benefits them. And Latinos and Hispanics and Asians and disabled and LGBTQ community and the long list of other communities, and then black people are last to benefit from the DEI program. And black people need to know that. Another thing black people need to know is, any black people working for the federal government, don't give up your federal job. Keep your job, because if you got 20, 15, 30 years left to work, keep your federal job, because the benefits are great, the health care is great, the insurance is great, your sick leave is great, you off all holidays. Don't give that up, because you're going to have to work somewhere. And you're better off working for the government. Go back to the office, because that's why you got that single home. That's why you're driving that luxury car. Go keep your jobs. I really support anyone. Don't give up something. Think about your family. Don't give up your jobs because you want to sit home. Unless you can make more money being at home, or you're self-employed and you're making money, don't give up your government job. That's foolish, because you're going to need to work somewhere. And why lose your great job to get a job with no vacation time, no sick time, no health benefits, no union, none of that? That's what you get with federal jobs. You get union, you get all of that. You get protection. So, I fought for for unions and as a union representative. You don't give that up. I mean, people go to school for years and then get a degree, and have to pay back loans. And when you get your federal job, you're making the same salary that they're making. So it's really a good job. So don't give that up. But the DEI is not for black people. It's not for black people. Every time they have something for black people and they talk about civil rights, all the other communities benefit from it except for black people. We don't benefit from it. And that's what the problem is. I wish Trump said he wants everybody to be, not, color-based, to be colorless. But that's the first thing even he looks at. Everybody's looking at the color of your skin. They didn't look at whether that was a female or male. They're looking at the color of your skin. And they're assuming if you're in any type of position that's of any type of leadership, it's like somehow a white person is smarter. I've been in school and I had supervisors, and I've, of course, been a supervisor and a manager, that they was as dumb as a doornail. And they're going to put them in leadership and they don't even know the job themselves. I don't know if anybody experienced that have supervisors, the job better than they do. And they're going to promote them. And they promote white people according to the color of their skin. So they don't need DEI because they get promoted because of the color of their skin. White people get positions because of the color of their skin.
Oh, thanks. God bless you too, Kevin. That's awesome, dude.
What'd he say?
He said, God bless y'all for this live. Don't quit, y'all.
Yeah, and this is not like a popular subject or something like that, but my thing is, I want to speak the truth about things that I think that needs to be cleared up. Like when God gives you a mandate, you just take it, and God does all the blessing. God is first in our lives. You know, we're thankful. Like we went to church today, and you know, it's something about going into the house of the Lord. It gives you that peace that passes all understanding through Christ Jesus. And you want to speak the truth. You like, what would Jesus do? Jesus is not going to try to put ears on for people to tickle their ears.
Gives you a refreshed spirit going to church.
Yeah, it gives you, you know, because you're Christ-like, you're Christ-centered, and you want to do what's right, you want to say what's right, because it's, you know that you have someone above you, and that's God. You know, it's not man. Man, you know, just be thankful anything you have. Just be thankful that you woke up today. Be thankful you got a house. Be thankful and grateful that you're not living out on the street right now, because there are people right now that could be on this live that they in their car. You know, they're in the car. So that's why I feel like people shouldn't be so quick to give up great jobs, especially a federal job. You know, I work for the government. Don't give up your federal job. A federal job is not a job. It's a career. That's a career. You know, so you don't give that up. But the DEI is misinformation. It's not a black fight. So I feel funny now if I want to go into a Target. It's not even our fight, but there are black people saying, oh, we're boycotting.
Someone said Jesus Christ doesn't exist. Why does life suck?
Well, life only sucks because you don't believe in your creator. Jesus Christ came and died for your sin, that God loved you so much that he said that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. So if your life sucks, that means you need God. You need God. Like nothing is perfect. No one has a perfect life. None of our lives are perfect. None of us. If everybody's going through something, but it's better to go through it with Jesus. There's no way I want to deal with what's going on in this world. I'm blessed, and I'm blessed to be a blessing. God is allowing me to speak to y'all, to speak life into y'all. This is blessed to be a blessing. I'm thankful. I'm thankful every day. I'm thankful for everything God has done in my life, and I don't deserve anything. And none of us do. I can't go to God and say, God, I deserve to be in that mansion, or I deserve this, I deserve that. I don't deserve God to do anything for me. And what he has done is more than what I've deserved.
If you think your life sucked, look up the story of Job from the Bible.
You know, so we got to be thankful for what you do have. And if your life is not going in a direction you want it to go in, then you need to open up your Bible and you need to give your life to Christ. You need to, because it's more to life than what you see. And don't focus on people. You know, and don't be a people pleaser. You know, focus on God. You know, what God says about issues. What do God think? God made us all. We don't need laws to say we're equal.
Oh my God, you're still watching.
We have God. God created us. And he created the human race. So when you think that God said, oh, this, I'm going to make these people like this and these people, he made a human race. And it's not going to be anywhere in heaven there's going to be an all one race section. There ain't going to be no all white section, or all black section.
Like you just said, that's why Jesus is the truth,
He's the truth,
and the life. No one comes to the Father except through Jesus.
But through the Son.
Exactly.
That's right, but through the Son. So, but this DEI stuff, like you hear all these different people and they're trying to explain it. And like when you hear about it, it's just like, you know, I don't even like what they're saying. This is the other thing. Let me just put this. I ain't like the other one. Commercial. Got to take that out. But everybody's getting all this misinformation.
Dragon Master, you're obviously a troll. I can't take you serious with the name Dragon Master. That's the first thing. Like, how old are you, 12?
By President Donald Trump have led to growing misinformation issues. One action that has many talking is the potential impacts to the Equal Employment Opportunity Act. CBS News Detroit's Elaine Rojas Castillo is on your block in Midtown with a breakdown of the confusion and what you need to know.
This executive order does not have the power to override laws that we already have on the books that are passed by our legislature.
On Tuesday, President Donald Trump signed a series of executive orders eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, government programs, with a memo going out to federal agencies placing all DEI office staffers on paid leave immediately.
Did away and says we do not want diversity to be a hiring or job criteria for any federal position.
Civil rights attorney John Marco says that move may seem daunting, but is fairly limited in the scope of its reach.
Oh, if you're not in the federal government, it's going to do nothing for you. It's not going to affect you whatsoever. You work for Ford, or, you work for the corner store, the corner bar, whatever. You still have the same protections you had a month ago.
The history of DEI in America is long, with the Civil Rights Act of 1964 including a provision that bans employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. It also established the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, which works to investigate any claims or charges of workplace discrimination. Marco says the confusion surrounding who this executive order actually impacts could potentially cause more harm than the actual move itself.
There's federal laws.
Yeah, it's so much going on. I'm gonna let him play, but it's like there's so much misinformation about DEI, and just to have someone really come on and to break it down and who it really affects. But people do judge people according to the color of their skin. Like if you're like applying like for a job and someone else is applying for a job, and you could put all your credentials out there, and your credentials could exceed that other person, but sometimes it doesn't go by qualifications, it goes by who's submitting the application. And that's a fact. When you put down what your race is or whatever, they're going to like, okay, this young white person, yeah, we want to give them the opportunity. Whereas this person that could be a different ethnicity, that they're going to be put on the back burner. And that's why you have so many of one race that's being hired. It's not that people are less qualified. It's just that people do judge people. And that's the real world. And that's the truth. We wish it wasn't that way, but it is the truth.
Actually impacts could potentially cause more harm than the actual move itself.
There's federal laws, Title VII, and a bunch of other federal laws and state laws here in Michigan that protect a worker from being discriminated against based on their sex, based on their race, national origin, religion, a whole host of factors. This executive order does not and cannot touch those laws.
Okay.
While the executive order may impact federal employees and contractors through the revoking of Executive Order 11246, signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1965, it does not get rid of the larger Equal Employment Opportunity Act that was part of the Equal Rights Amendment.
This will have zero effect, no effect whatsoever on my ability to protect those people out there who've been discriminated against.
Marco says people should remain calm and remember that an executive order may have the power to make some changes, but there are state laws in place to block or limit any immediate impacts.
Our laws that we have in Michigan and federally that give you access to these protections are enshrined from our Constitution, and President Trump can't touch those. No president can touch those. Those are in our Constitution, and they're in our laws that are passed by our elected representatives.
Elaine Rojas Castillo, CBS News, Detroit.
See, when I look at it, like someone asked, how can I be black and I had supported Trump in this election. Previously, I have always voted for a Democratic president or just in different legislative positions. But this time I voted for Trump because I looked at who was running. I felt as though that Kamala Harris and knucklehead Tampon Tim were the two worst candidates I've ever seen in my life. And besides that Joe Biden had promised us a anti-hate crime bill, the George Floyd bill, and the John Lewis bill, which he failed us on that. He did not come through for black people on that. So I had a problem with that they every 4 years, the Democrats come around and they want our votes, and they keep promising what they're going to do for us, and they're empty promises. And we keep expecting different results. We keep expecting, okay, this presidential candidate is going to finally keep their word to the black community, but they never do. And when I saw that they had opened up the borders, I'm answering the person and saying, how could be black voted for Trump? When they opened up the borders and they allowed over 12 million, they don't know how many, over 12 million homeless illegal immigrants to enter our country and put our country in more debt more harm.
And some convicted
than ever before. That's why I supported Trump, because Trump didn't open up the borders. He didn't get us involved in 2 wars. So he was the better candidate between the people that was running. And in his office, just the first few days of his being in office, he has done some amazing things.
He didn't give $200 billion to Ukraine.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Zelensky robbing us. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But it's been so much going on, and right now, like he's God ordained. God, this is the will of God who's the president. What you got to do, if you don't like who's president, then you could vote for a new one in 4 years. But the person in office, you got to pray for him, because just like Trump, feet is always held to the fire. No, everybody holds Trump feet to the fire. So I don't agree with everything he does, but I agree with a lot that he is doing for this nation and putting America first as one. But like what he wants and hopes for this nation, that people would judge people on merit, we're not ready for that yet. Because even his people that was help campaigning for him, like I said, Charlie Kirk, he's talking about he wouldn't trust a black president. But would you trust Ben Carson, the top rated brain surgeon probably in the world? Would you trust him if you needed a brain operation?
Eric,
he happens to be black.
Eric, and how many people did illegal immigrants murder because money doesn't equal life? So that's the end of the discussion right there. I don't F what they brought to our economy.
We spent $157 billion on illegal immigrants last year. You're talking about they brought $93 billion. We spent $157 billion. It's costing American citizens per immigrant $68,000 per immigrant. There are so many statistics. They're not helping our economy. They're hurting us. They're hurting us. In California, they get everything free. They're giving them houses while our veterans and our homeless are on the street. They're not helping our economy at all. And you know what? I forget his name. When I come back on here, I'm going to have the statistics so that you can see what they have done to our country, let alone allowing over 15,000 rapists convicted rapists into our country. Over 13,099 convicted murderers, Trinidad, Raga gangs, the cartel, ISIS, the 350 terrorists, 2 million gotaways. It goes on. And we're footing the bill. How are we winning when we're paying for it?
Just go to New York City.
We're paying for it. I'm glad Trump got in office, because now we're not paying for that freaking war in Ukraine. In Gaza, was only costing us $3 billion. Ukraine is costing us $177 billion for that war. While Zelensky is patting his pocket, the freaking president was a freaking comedian. A comedian. He went from a comedian to president. He never wants the war to end. This way he can retain power. So it's a lot that's going on in this country, and it needed someone like Trump to straighten this out and put the American people first. He has a dream, I guess, like Dr. Martin Luther King, that he wants people to look at people according to their merit, but we're not ready for that yet.
Eric, you're just a sheep, bro. I'm sorry to say, but you're a sheep.
People still think we back in the 1900s or something, and it's not like that. We are educated. We're educated.
He said blacks for Trump is the most foolish thing I ever heard.
Yeah, see, that's people don't want people to. People, it's funny how, especially the Democratic Party, they've done more for the LGBTQ, using our civil rights, than even Obama, black president. He did more for them. He the grandfather of LGBTQ. They done more for them than they ever have for black people. We shouldn't have to keep proving ourselves. Everyone wants to be like us. They want to wear their hair. They want to get their complexions, our swag, everything. We are creative people. We have so many multi-millionaires, so many middle class, so many people that are prominent. That's what's going on. That are prominent. And that needs to be recognized. We are in position, but sometimes we're not given the opportunity. Because just like what Charlie Kirk said, he would feel some type of way if it was a black pilot. That black pilot would have to be the top of his class to even get the freaking job. We have to excel at what we do. Excel. That's what we have to do. If you have a company or owner of a company, you have to excel. When we have ideas, we go to the bank and we want to start a business and whatever, we got to jump through hoops. But you have illegals and people coming into this country getting the loans for banks. They just giving immigrants money.
I'm sorry.
That they still won't do for black people.
People are saying they agree with Black Dog, but I'm sorry, Black Dog. I'm not going to take someone serious with the name Black Dog 392 Dog. Like, how old are you, dude?
You know, to blame somebody, and Trump saying, let's hold people caught in murder. You're not going to give people a chance. Look at the credentials. Have the interview. Don't look at someone. And black people are not DEI. White women are DEI. Latinos are DEI. Disabled are DEI. Indigenous people are DEI. Those are your DEIs.
Oh, we got another black person in here.
The DEIs are not black people. Reverend Sharpton want to lead the march. Like DEI is like black people are the face of DEI. It might have been started because they thought that this would help black people, but we have not benefited from it.
Vincent, Trump is your president, dude. Deal with it. No one said that Native Americans weren't here before us.
Yeah, everybody know this is.
I don't know what point you're trying to make, but natives are the people originally from America and are the real Americans.
And we got Al Sharpton. He's in front of the freaking pack.
Someone said
against President Trump's moves to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at companies around the country. Fox 5's Duarte Gilardino is live in East Harlem with more on how a day of shopping took on a more profound meaning. Hi, Duarte.
Hey there, out there. The Reverend Al Sharpton is trying to send a message to businesses. If you don't support DEI, there are a lot of Americans who won't support you. This is what he did today. He bought 25.
Listen to this.
Or rather, he bought $125 gift cards and gave them out to people. Brought them over here to this.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
To send a message that if they support Costco's going to support them.
Look at this.
We will stand with those.
All black people. Black people. Where the white people?
Costco says it's sticking with its DEI programs, and Sharpton wants to encourage other businesses to do the same. President Trump ordered all federal DEI staff on paid leave and signed orders to dismantle DEI programs in both government and private businesses. Now, one of those orders requires the government to review DEI policies of public companies, but the National Action Network says it won't back down. They plan to boycott companies that get rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
For 90 days, we're going to research the company that we find that has made the most affront. We will call a boycott. But today, we are calling a buy-in.
While Costco says it remains committed to DEI, many well-known companies are scaling back their programs, including Target, Meta, Amazon, McDonald's, Walmart, Lowe's, and Ford. Now, today it was about buying and supporting companies that support DEI, but the National Action Network says it will soon announce the names of companies that it plans to boycott. Arthur?
Thank you very much.
It's amazing. And like I said, like with Al Sharpton, the only thing that he's showing, hey, he's showing people, he's not showing diversity. And leading the pack, it shouldn't be all black people because like we're the least to benefit from DEI. And that's my issue, that it's so much misinformation, like it's something for black people. They're making black people like they're the face of DEI. So when people look at any black person, no matter what position they are, oh, that lawyer is a DEI, that congressman is a DEI, that teacher is a DEI, and that's a lie from hell. That's a lie from hell. Anything that we get or anything that black people have to do, we have to work harder than everyone else to get it. Huh? I don't know why it's doing that.
Kathy, we get plenty of views, so we're good on that.
Yeah, we had 1.7 million views in the last like 3 weeks.
They saying we just looking for views. We already got plenty of views.
we get views. We get millions of views. So this is not a popular subject. This is not something that I don't know why it's doing that. You know, so it's not really popular. right now, but it's something that I feel like this is not about the views, it's about the subjects. I feel as though that it is important.
Clearly, I can't even say your name. Clearly, you haven't been watching because we still MAGA
It's
all
not
day.
just for black people. It's no way. What's the list? Get the list. Get your phone.
You want to read it again?
Read it again for those in the back there in the choir. Yeah, we gotta read it for the uninformed. That is not for black people. Black people. That's why I keep repeating it. That black people we benefit the least.
At the bottom of the
We're
list.
at the bottom of the list as far as DEI hires. At the bottom of the list. Just
Yes.
read it to them.
This is the list of who it benefits, starting from first to the last. It first starts with white women, then
Wow.
Latino.
Who's number one?
The number one is white women, and then Latino Hispanic, then Asians, and then Native Americans, and then disabled, and then veterans, and then the Alphabet Club, and then seniors, and then blacks.
We're last on the list
We're last.
that benefit from DEI. The people that benefit the most from DEI are white women. So when Trump abolished that and got rid of those positions and put them on administrative leave, it mostly affected white women. But you have Reverend Sharpton out there like it's a black issue and that black people need to boycott Target and Walmart and Amazon, all these stores, when it should be led by white organizations and white women, and it should be more diversified. Why aren't they out there? So it's not benefiting who it was meant to benefit.
D, you can't even spell, bro.
It was meant to benefit us maybe, but that didn't happen as usual. Everything we fight for, it benefits other communities. Like we fought for to get an anti-hate crime bill. We helped elect Joe Biden, but guess who got the anti-hate crime bill? It was the Asians. They got it with no problem. Went right through Congress. We still waiting for our bill. Still waiting for it. And that was under Democratic leadership. For the last 12 years, they've been in office. So it hasn't happened like it should happen.
Someone said last on the list doesn't mean tens of thousands didn't benefit.
What's tens and thousands to millions of people? You know what? God had to Musa, pull that back, pull it back, pull it back,
God bless you.
pull it back. I want to be first on the list, okay? We don't want to be last on the list. If it's supposed to be something for us or whatever, if we're going to be the poster child, at least let us benefit from it. Let's go there. Because black people have to earn their positions. And it's insulting and it's offensive to have people feel like when they see someone black, that the black person is the least qualified, and that's a lie. Just because you white does not make you more qualified than someone else.
Bella,
it doesn't even make you the best person for the job.
Bella, research the First Step Act and how much money Trump has donated to black colleges, predominantly black colleges.
What did Obama do for black people? We had a so-called black president. What did Obama do for black people? You know who he fought for? He the grandfather, he the father of LGBTQ. Everything against God. That's why I voted Republican, because they don't have the Christian morals that I follow. I don't believe in abortion. Abortion is wrong. God is not in that. I don't believe in same-sex marriages or men's and women's bathroom, mutilating kids, or men and women's sports. I don't believe in any of that stuff that they were doing. I had to check myself because I'm a Christian. And I believe in what God believes in.
Toast, you didn't read your Bible. Just go to verse Leviticus 18:22 for the answer to that.
Why is this going out like that?
Because you clearly didn't read your Bible.
You know,
if
so
you think God's for that, you didn't read the Bible.
If God is for what?
They say you're wrong, man. God made us all in his image, even queer people.
He made men. He made two genders. Genesis 1:26. He told man, be fruitful and multiply. He didn't make an in-between. He loves everyone. God doesn't want anyone to go to hell. He allows you to be whatever you want to become, to follow him, not to follow him. But he did say every knee shall bow and every mouth shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. So you're going to do that. And he's going to hold you accountable for everything that you have done while you were here on earth. You're going to stand before God. All of us are going to stand before God. And everything that was hidden, things that people don't know that we've done, God knows everything. There's nothing hidden from God. Period.
About that they're trying to say that it doesn't matter if you're into the same sex.
It does matter. It goes against nature. Let's just start with that. Common sense. It goes against nature. It goes against, it's wrong. Nobody has to tell you if a man is laying up with a man and he hugging that dude, that's wrong. Something is wrong with that picture. I mean, even children will look at a guy got a purse. He say, "Mommy, how come that man has a purse?" Even children will comment on what they see. So, so you got to be real with what's going on. And DEI is not a black agenda. It hasn't benefited us. I wish it had. I wish prior to Trump coming in office that it was something that had benefited black people. But not when you're the least affected by it, when you're not getting the jobs. And white women are the ones that got the jobs, and then Latinos, and then Asians, and then the indigenous or disabled, the seniors, and everyone else, except for us. And then we're the ones out there that's going to fight for it, and then they're going to go back to hiring white women.
What does that even mean?
And not hiring us. And then when you see a black person, oh, that's a DEI hire. I wish someone had said that to me at any given time. Because you want to make sure you earn your positions. And most jobs, you got to earn, but people are biased. They do pick their favorites. Like when it comes to promotions on these jobs, they're going to pick their favorites. They might pick a relative. They might choose white people. They're going to choose them over you. That's who you. It's not like they're the best for the job. I had supervisors, like I said, or managers that were white, and they were some of the dumbest people on earth. You're like, how in the world are you trying to tell us what to do when you don't even know the job yourself?
Tosek said, let people be people, not everyone's Christian.
Nobody said everybody has to be Christian. God allows you to make a choice, but that's what I am. So if I'm Christian, that's what I'm going to speak about, because it's somebody that needs to hear this. Maybe not you.
God lets everyone go to heaven, and God lets everyone go to hell.
He lets you make a decision, but maybe it's not for you, but don't take it away from someone else,
Bobby, clearly you're not enlightened yet, but I'll enlighten you because I care for you. I want everyone to be smart. But but I actually was for Trump before my mom.
I wasn't.
Totally against Trump.
Totally.
She threw away my Trump hat, my first
I was campaigning for Biden.
So you got it
doing big rallies, holding, speaking out, getting other congressmen and women into office. I was doing the whole 9 yards, canvassing, going in Washington.
You could check the channel. It's a video of her meeting.
I have so many receipts of so many leaders and stuff. I'm right there in the party. I'm right there with them.
Peter, I feel sorry for you.
But not this time. It was Trump.
Oh, I feel sorry for Peter.
Trump.
Peter got some problems going on.
And the things that Trump wants, he wants everybody to be fair and everybody to go by merit. But that's not the real world. People do judge you, even on here. People do judge you by the color of your skin. People are biased. People are racist. People do discriminate. And if you don't have certain things set up, then people are not going to have diversity inside of, say, a job. But what it was meant for, the DEI, what I'm trying to say, that we were the least that benefited from it. I wish that we did benefit from it.
I liked what Samantha said. She said this country was founded on Christian beliefs. It's the basis of our legal system. Cannot separate the two.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I just wish it had benefited us. If we're going to be the poster child of it, then let it benefit us. But I don't think that we should be leading the charge boycotting when it's not going to help us. It's not going to help us. But I don't feel like when you see a black person in a position that we got to prove that we earned it. Everything that we have ever had to have done in this country, we have to prove it, and we have to be better at it. No matter, you could take a black person, they could go into a store and they could have millions of dollars worth of jewelry on. They could pull up in a Rolls Royce, and that freaking security guard will follow them.
Look at what happened to Ryan Coogler.
They will follow them. They will follow them. They go into a bank. Even now, Ryan Coogler, I think he's the director of Creed, Black Panther, and he got a new movie with Michael B. Jordan. He went to the bank to deposit a check. They called the cops on him. They handcuffed him. He couldn't even deposit a check. This is the kind of stuff that happens to black people because black people do have money. And we are educated. We are smart. And we are millionaires, multimillionaires, upper middle class. We do pretty well. We do pretty well in this country, but people still are judging people according to their race. And what happens when you follow the black person in the store, then you got people of other groups. They can go steal the whole store, but they're not watching them. You know, we're not going into a store to steal or whatever. But it doesn't matter whether you are or not. They're still going to look at you before they look at someone else. Like they have things like on YouTube, they call the cops, they describe a total white person, orange jacket. They go see first black person they see, that's who they're going to trying to arrest. So people do have these biases, and racism is still alive.
Dolly said at the same time, managers are afraid to get rid of black employees that aren't good at their jobs.
I haven't seen that as long as I've lived. I have not seen that ever.
You're first to get fired.
I have never seen that ever. Because people bad their jobs, it doesn't matter what color they are. And that's a fact. You got people that come to work and they don't want to do their job regardless of the color of their skin. But some people get away with it more than others. But I have never seen anybody scared to dismiss a black person that's not doing their job. You know, they're ready to dismiss them to go to the next person, and it won't be a black person. So that doesn't happen that often. You know, but like I said, a lot of times black people are the first to go or be dismissed or whatever the case may be. But DEI did not benefit us. They brought that around because of what happened to George Floyd, what was happening in the black community, but white women are the ones that benefited from it. But they're not boycotting. They write in Target. They write in Walmart. They're going to keep ordering from Amazon. But then they want us, some of these so-called black leaders want us to boycott something that's not going to do a darn thing for us. It's going to benefit, if they reinstate it, it's going to go back to benefiting white women and not us. And it was made for us, but it doesn't benefit us. I don't know why my phone is doing that.
Yeah, gotta check the settings after.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it going dark on you guys? I keep tapping the screen because my screen is going out. Does it go out on you guys?
Bobby said racism goes both ways, sis. This is sounding pretty racist.
It does go both ways. Yeah, it could go both ways, but the truth is the truth. And what I'm telling you is the truth. I'm telling you from my perspective. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You can agree to disagree, but this is the truth. It is the truth. Like I said, it doesn't benefit us. It benefits white women. That's the truth. I feel as though if Reverend Al Sharpton, if you're going to want to have a boycott, but you want all black people to boycott these stores, I think that it should be diverse. Because we're talking about all ethnic groups are benefiting from it more than us. And they're not out there. They're not boycotting. So who are we boycotting for? Because who are we boycotting for if it's not benefiting us? That just doesn't make any sense. This is the kind of stuff that black people keep doing. We do all this fighting, all this boycott, all this stuff, and it benefits other groups of people who don't even get up off the couch to boycott or do whatever. And this is Black History Month. He want to get rid of, federally, I guess, Black History Month, but you can't get rid of something, that Black History Month or Dr. Martin Luther King and everything that he's done for the world, not just the black community, but for the world. You got to have righteous leaders. You got to have people that's fight for the people.
I'm getting really tired of seeing people not explaining their argument. They just say a statement that features insults, but they don't explain their reasoning why they said that statement.
Well, then, you can agree to disagree, but you need to add more content to it. Like when you say something, put something behind it.
Exactly.
That's what you have to do. And you can agree to disagree. I love that. I love for people to make their points and all that. But if you just want to I think when a person want to do insults and just throw shade out and just, I think that's just someone being a coward. That's someone that doesn't have anything to stand on. That's just someone that does not know how to communicate. So I don't take offense to it. The only way you can take offense to anything if you don't know who you are. I know who I am and I know who I belong to. I'm the righteousness of God in Christ. God said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up in judgment thou shalt condemn. That's my heritage as a child of God. So I know who I am. I'm covered with the blood of Jesus from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. So I can't be on here if I can't handle it. I welcome it. But I want content. I want the communication, not just throwing things out there because you don't have the information to be able to dispute what I'm saying.
We haven't yet had an educated conversation with someone who's a Democrat. It's always them just trying to insult us.
And we're going to start doing our lives. We'll start bringing people on because I do want to hear from you. I do want to hear your different viewpoints, and we are here to be enlightened. Everyone, nobody's 100% right with anything. No one is saying that. But what I am saying that I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to speak the truth and I'm going to call it out no matter who it is. I'm going to call it like I see it. And whether it's Trump or the Democrats, then I'm going to say what it is. I'm not here to front or make believe or I'm so one-sided. I support Trump. I support my president. And I'm praying for my president. He's all of our president. Election is over. He won. He's our president. And we need to support him. And we got to pray that, you got everybody in his ear right now. You got Elon Musk. You got all kinds of people in his ear. But I just hope that he's listening to the voice of God. That God gives him discernment. That God gives him wisdom. I believe he's trying to do right by this country. He's trying to get us back on track. That's what he's trying to do. But he has more of us fighting him than supporting him. He's already fighting the rest of the world for our behalf because he feels as though that the United States is doing everything for the rest of the world and we're supporting the rest of the world, but they're not buying our products. They're not doing anything for us. And he wants to change that. He's looking out for our agenda. He's looking out for our welfare. He wants us to have better lives, all of us. I believe that's what he's trying to do, but everybody doesn't feel like him. Everyone that is not on the same page as he is, even the Republicans, a lot of them don't like Trump. They're not on his side. They're not. Some of them are racist. You got Democrats that are racist. So just because they're the Democratic Party, that don't mean that they got some racism in them as well at times. So, but we got to still, no matter what, he's our leader. And I do believe he wants the best for all of us. But, he wants that people to be judged by merit, but not when it's all white cabinets. Like the best people are not white people. The best people are the people who are best for the position, but people don't get past this. They don't get past the color of people's skin. And he needed to diversify his cabinet more. They're proving that. You're going to tell me Byron Donalds, out of all the positions, that he wasn't qualified to have a cabinet position? He spoke out more than all the other people that he has picked. He was there before Tulsi and JFK and Elon. Byron was right there by his side. He was right there with Trump the whole time. And I think he might have wanted him to stay in the Senate because he needs someone fighting in the Senate. But he should have had a position. So there are a lot of black leadership and a lot of black people that are astounding, that are super smart, super educated, graduating from the Harvards and the Princetons and the Stanfords and, Temple University and all these, all of these amazing, colleges and universities. We're here. All this stereotype, like black people are not just living, and nor are all white people. You got more white people that are barely making it than black people. They need more EBT cards and help than we do because there's more of them. So, But we got this thing going on in this country, and what Trump wants, I hope it could happen, that people do get hired that way. But in the real world, it's not happening out here.
There's a lot of intolerable people in this chat.
It's not happening out here, not like he wants it to. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. We want to go out in the algorithm. We want it to get out. And we appreciate you taking your time, but we need you to hit the like button. That's how you support this channel. All the subjects and topics is not popular. But people need to know this, because you have so many people like labeling DEI like it's a black type of like it's a black policy, like it's something for us, and it's not. It's not. We're not benefiting from it. Like I said, I wish we were, but we're the last to benefit from it. But we're the ones supposed to be out on the picket line. So I feel funny if I go to Target, or some people say Target, and it's like I'm breaking the boycott, but it's not for my people. It's not for my people.
Well, McCreary,
I don't know why is this going out like this.
You haven't seen the things that Trump has done to benefit black people to say that stupid statement.
It's like, but people are misinformed, because you have so many people, even in my community. You have these leaders, like I said, like the Al Sharptons, the Roland Martins. They're telling black people, oh, this is what happened. See, y'all shouldn't have voted for Trump. All y'all who voted for Trump, look what Trump has done. Look, he's getting rid of DEI. Oh wow, but DEI has not benefited us. Well, they're not telling you that. Why are we going to do a picket line and a boycott when the people that's benefiting from it they're not boycotting? How does that make sense? I want to see them out there. They should be leading the way, not us. Not us. They should be out there. Why are we fighting for something that's for them and is not going to benefit us? I mean, this is just common sense. I'm reiterating it because it's common sense. When you see on TV, they see everybody, oh, that's a DEI hire. Oh, that's a D. But they're going by the color of someone's skin. And Trump said, go by people's merits, go by their qualifications. But you're not getting past the qualifications. You're looking at the color of their skin. And these people have earned their positions. They have earned their position. Because we're not being hired as DEI hires. But every black person you see, you're saying DEI when we're not being hired like that. We're not even being hired like that. It's that white woman you're looking at that's a DEI. It's that Hispanics that's a DEI. That Asian is a DEI. It's not us.
Shut the hell up, Goldwyn.
It's not us. And that's a fact. You could Google it, look it up to see what I'm saying. You can confirm whatever I'm saying in regards to this. This is something that anyone can look up. You can look it up for yourself. That's why we have the wonderful world of the internet. Why we have Google.
It's okay, Andrea.
That's why we have these things. You don't believe it. See how the truth hurts. People don't want to hear the truth. And when you tell people the truth, they think it's a lie or is misinformation, because they don't want to believe it. People don't want to hear the truth. But if you come into a channel and the name of it is Speak the Truth, you're going to hear the truth. And if you know something I don't know, then you're welcome to enlighten us. But when you got to resort to name calling or just, whatever, that's the only way you, that's cowardice. That's like, if you're a man, especially, be a man. Good God. Say something relevant. Say something that can counteract what I'm saying. Give us your facts. Because this is what I'm called to do. I am never going to be on here, and we've had millions of views. Okay, this isn't popular because people want to believe what they keep hearing on the news and what they're hearing from these other content creators or these so-called leaders. They're not telling people that we don't benefit from this. So don't be saying that when you see a black person, because you're going by the color of our skin when you say that's a DEI. You're going by the color of our skin. And that's unfair, and that's not true.
Kevin, that doesn't happen. You have the advantage.
What did they say?
They said, what if they don't hire me because I'm white?
You can look at the statistics. You got a 99.9% more getting hired than a black person. And that's a fact. That's a fact. It's the truth. It's the truth. So they don't go by merit like Trump would like for people to go by. Because black people are just as educated as any white person. You want to go by the color of the skin. Like a brain has no color. A brain doesn't say, oh, that brain is Ben Carson cut you open. That brain is not saying, oh, that's what a white brain look like and this what an Asian brain look like. All the brains look exactly the same. They look exactly the same. And happy Black History Month. Anybody want to hear? Happy Black History Month to all you guys. This is Black History Month, So you gotta stand on business. You gotta stand on what's right. And, hopefully, like when Trump made his speech, he said he believed, like Dr. Martin Luther King, he wants to come true that men and women, they won't be judged by the color of their skin. That's what Trump tried, but by their merit, by, who they are. That's what Black is beautiful. Yes, it is. Thank you. That's what he wants. That's what we want, for us to be judged. But people are racist. People are prejudiced. And you'll have people say, I'm not racist. I had someone like a neighbor. We live in I guess it's more of a predominantly white neighborhood. But, even people who think that they say, I had one guy, actually, he's an officer. He's like, I'm a Christian. He's like, I'm a Christian. I said, but you're racist. He's like a neighbor, but he has he's prejudiced. I can see some, he got a little
racial tendencies.
Yeah, racial tendencies. But he doesn't even realize that he's behaving like that. If I say, this is what I need you to do, blah, 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 and say my white neighbor or what, blah, 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 he'll kind of try to take up for him. And I got to pull him back and we're not doing that or whatever. But, and people do judge by the color of your skin. And it's not right, but that's the world we live in. And I'm not saying anybody's being mean or disrespectful or whatever, but sometimes people even say they're a Christian and all of that. And, they act a certain way sometimes. So you just got to remind them of who you are.
What Joan said. Thanks, Joan.
Thank you. You got to just remind. Some people don't mean any harm, but sometimes you got to remind them because you got to put them in check. You got to let them know, okay, you lean a little bit more towards, being a little prejudiced here or whatever. And sometimes people don't realize and they're apologetic or whatever the case may be.
Sending love to you as well.
But the truth is the truth. And, but that's why I said that Trump is trying to do right by us. He's trying. He really is trying. He's not coming here trying to have an all-white race. That ain't going to happen. This country's too diversified. It's not going to happen. But he wants everything to be fair and for people to get hired according to their ability. But that doesn't happen. All white people get hired. That's what happens. Black people not getting hired, in the jobs that they deserve to get hired in. At times we don't get hired like that. And what we do get, we got to fight for it.
Rico, I was gonna ban you. Well, Andrea hit your comment, but I want you to explain yourself.
What did they say?
They say y'all are brainless.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to add more, enlighten us. I mean, to say brainless, enlighten us. What you have to communicate. You have to express yourself. If that's all that you can do and say, then you're appearing to be brainless. I mean, you're saying what you're trying to say about someone else. If you can't articulate a point, a valid point, or whatever, or something, give us something, then what you're saying is invalid.
It's okay, Andrea.
It's invalid, but it's okay. We'll pray for you that God will open up your eyes, deliver you from whatever you need to deliver from, because hurting people hurt people. So
it's okay, Andrea. He deserved it.
Yeah, you catch my father, honey. Yeah, it's just to be like, some things as Black Americans, white Americans, whatever, ethnicity you are, some things we really have to have communication. We have to talk about the hard things and the hard subjects or whatever.
Dang, what is going on?
I don't know what that's all about. It might be because of that video that had that commercial in it.
Andrea said, you know, I won't let people badmouth y'all.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Woo-hoo. Okay, gotta do the heart. Oh yeah, that's for you. Yeah, but God is good. You know, we're thankful, but I think sometimes you got to come on and you got to say what the truth is. You got to put it out there. People don't want to hear it. I didn't even realize until recently that DEI really didn't support black people. It was intended to, but it never did. How can it support us if we're number 9 on the list? Number 9. Number 9 on the list. You know, so you know how that's not supporting our community. We're the least supported, but we're the face of it, and we got this black leadership. I'm quite sure that Al Sharpton is aware of the fact that DEI does not help the black community. I'm quite sure he knows
the
that.
mad trucker, I'm gonna need sources for that. I'm gonna need sources instead of you just saying that.
Ooh, say what?
You saying, did you know that Trump took that phrase from a Nazi?
What phrase?
I guess he's saying make America great again.
Well, Nazi was in America, make America great. Why would it? Oh, really? You know I'm trolling you on that one. I'm just trolling you. But anyway, we want to make America better. Again, we want America to be better than what it's been in the last 4 years. We do want that. That's what, and like the KKK would start from the Democratic Party.
Trucker, I'm asking you to source it. I'm not saying you're being mean. I'm asking for you to source it instead of you just saying it.
Oh, he said I'm not trolling. I'm being respectful. Okay. Well, you know what we just want to do.
Not backing up his claim though. He's saying it's racist, but you're not.
Anytime we say something, we just want people to give us some content, communicate. Just say like what you're saying, you know, or whatever. Or you're just going to hear what we have to say. And we're going to speak the truth. But I like to hear like a different different viewpoint. If it's relevant or it can enlighten us, educate us. You know, sometimes, you know, nobody knows everything.
All these people can do, not saying everyone, but...
And don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead.
Democrats can do is just make baseless claims with no context. They can't provide not a single drop of context. They only can throw insults and make baseless claims. Like, provide some context to what you're referring to. Don't just say random stuff.
X is where the truth is true community. You know, it's fact check everyone on both sides. Yeah, and that's something I think even the last election, like they only fact checked on the Republican side, which was Trump, but there was no fact checking at all. They were totally biased with mainstream media on the Democrat side, and that's why people got tired of it because it was one-sided. It's one-sided. People don't, anything Trump does or say, we are going, people, they coming for him. It does, people will come right at Trump, but the same thing doesn't happen with the Democratic Party. They did a lot of foul stuff to the American people when they opened up them borders. Let's start out with that. You know, we had a president that was absent 40% of the time of his presidency. We had a freaking vice president was MIA for her just about 4 years until the last 3 months of office when they gave her $1.5 billion to run.
And if Kamala,
that she spent
and
went in debt.
If Kamala won, there definitely would have been another world war.
Yeah, they wanted World War III. That's what they were hoping for because it's money in war. They wanted Putin. They even told President Zelensky that he could use those long-range missiles into Russia like a month before Trump was supposed to take office. They wanted that war to happen because then that way they could have retained power. They would have remained in power because a war would have been going on.
I don't know why you keep saying that quiet faith when Obama was already president.
What they say?
They're saying, how can Black people influence politics when we don't practice traditional family? That's the building block of politics.
What do you mean we don't practice traditional? Can define traditional family. Because Black people believe in family. Black people go to church. Black people follow what Christ says, Jesus says. The only way we don't follow traditional families is because of Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill that he was the author of, that caused mass incarceration of black men, which put black men, their sons, the fathers, the cousins, the nephews, the uncles in prison. So that disrupted the black family. And then they allow black men to be raped in prison. I don't know why when men get raped in prison, why are they allowed to break the law? They destroy these men in prison. They're worse coming out than what they went in. Like, if you have laws, there's supposed to be laws in there too, because they are American citizens. So, talking about disruptive, black people love family. We love having family, and that's a fact. You know, so black people want the same opportunities as everyone else. But if we wish that people could get past the color of your skin. We wish that what Dr. Martin Luther King wished and what he dreamed of, that what Trump is trying to do, that people would judge you based on your merits and all. But people don't get past this. In jobs, people don't get past that. Trump wants people to be blind to the color of your skin. But DEI was not supposed to be about the color of your skin. It's supposed to be about diversity, equity, inclusion. But that was white women, Asians, Native Americans, people on disability, seniors. Who did I miss? It was a whole disabled and black people. Black people was number 9 that benefit. Number 9. Everyone else benefited before black people when they came up with this because of what happened to George Floyd and veterans. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, they were on the list. So, but what I don't like is that when you see a black person, then I've seen people on TV, they say, oh, that's DEI, when they see a black person. When we're not the ones benefiting from DEI. When you see that white woman, you can say DEI. When you see that Asian, you can say DEI. When you see that Indian, you can say DEI. When you see that disabled, you can say DEI. But it's not a black issue. And that's why I don't like for Reverend Sharpton to get out there, and he's leading. He got nothing but all black people. He bought 125 Costco cars, and he's taking them in Costco. And they're saying we're going to boycott all these businesses when we shouldn't be leading the way. It should be, it should be white women. It should be, everyone should be involved if that was the case.
Mike, you're a buffoon, Mike. I'm sorry. I know you wanted a reaction from me, but I had to say it. You're
if DEI means black hired, then you must be mad, bro.
Yeah.
You must, so maybe a qualified black person took your job. Maybe that black person runs the company. Maybe he hired you. Because we're not in the back of the boat. We're running things. We have our own businesses. We are multi-millionaires and millionaires. We are doing pretty well.
Yeah, Dolly, we're gonna block Mike, but it's fun chatting with
black people, as far as the economy, we help to keep this economy running. It's our tax dollars that's being paid to support all these illegal immigrants as well as everyone else. So we're working out here.
He's saying that
She racist. No, I'm not racist. I'm just speaking truth. And it's funny, like when you speak the truth, and you could fact check me, you could Google it, you could go online, you go on X, you could go on YouTube, you could go and you could see the order, what DEI is and who's benefiting from DEI. So I'm telling you the truth. I'm speaking the truth. I don't know else how to say it to you.
Mike, my ex-girlfriend's white, Mike. Bet that'll make you happy.
So
Just call me a thug now.
It doesn't matter. You know who you are. Why? You know what? Don't even, when he talks like that, you could just laugh at him because he must be mad. He must not be doing well. Something is going on in his life. Something is going on in his life that he's unhappy with. Because
made-
miserable people, like he's miserable.
Mike, I swear on everything. I made $200,000 when I was 16.
Why? First of all, time out. You don't have to prove anything to anyone.
To
It doesn't. But who is he? He doesn't matter. He does not matter for you to lower yourself to even give that any energy towards him.
I haven't just blocked them.
I mean, you don't have to give that energy. He's miserable and he's trolling you.
Yeah.
You're the king of trolling. I don't even know why you care.
I don't like being called a Doug, man.
Well, you know you're not. You say, I bind it up in the name of Jesus. God said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up in judgment, thou shalt condemn.
I don't need a motivational talk.
That's what the word says. He said, I shall cause thy enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face. They should come out against thee one way and flee before thee in seven. He said, touch not my anointed. So to be on here, you're going to have people like that because they don't have no outlets. They can't say this on their jobs. They can't say that to a black person in their face because they're cowards. They're not going to go to their neighbor and say things to their neighbor. They're not going to even get smart with their family members. You got to look at it when people do this. A lot of times, if you saw who they are, you're like, you're saying something that's like.
That's how the typical Democrats are.
You're like, are you kidding me? You got the audacity to say something. Have you checked yourself lately? So you can't take anything that they say to heart, or you just can't be online. You just got to stand on your truth, know who you are, know who your Father is in heaven, and just speak the truth. It don't bother me. I welcome it. I
used to play Call of Duty, man.
I love it. I mean, I really, really, I guess like when you're confident and you know who you are, then you could stand and you could show your confidence. I'm confident in who I am. I love how God made me and the way he made me. And no one is perfect. The only person who was perfect has been Jesus Christ. That's it. We're all fallible and we all make mistakes, but it's about correcting yourself. And the one thing that God has in my heart is speaking the truth. And the truth hurts. And a lot of people don't like hearing the truth. The truth, sometimes when you speak it, to them, it comes off as lies or whatever, because they're not used to people being as direct. And do your research, right? You can research, you can Google all this. You could go online and